really guarding, um, um, physical, rebounding, um, doing things a little different, denying in a different way. And then offensively, they're playing to their strengths. They're older. They've got a young point guard who's big, and Dozier doing well. The guys that can shoot are shooting. They're post-ups, and they're playing a little bit of a mush-mouth game. Throw some 2-3 zone now and then, not pressing as much as they did a year ago, more half-court. Frank's doing a great job. You know, what's fun to see as a coach, um, when you're thrust into a situation and you're building a program, he's doing it the way you do it. The problem with this modern era of Twitter and Facebook and social media, people think it's supposed to, within a half a year, it changes. Well, it doesn't. What he did, what are they, 21-3 or 22-3 or whatever? Think about that. And it makes me smile. He's a great guy. I mean, he's, salt of the earth kind of guy, but he also is a terrific coach. They've taken on his personality. He ain't going to bully me personally, but he's going to, they take on his personality, which is tough. They make faces like he does. But he's done a great job.
What do you think, John, about home and away? You guys almost are like two different teams, it seems like.
Who?
You guys, home and away.
I think you look around the country, everybody on the road struggling because there's no, when you're not a dominating team, it's hard to win on the road. We've won games on the road where I was like, there's no way we're winning this game. We beat a team that's 80-5 at home. We beat them. So this is a little different setup. I'm anxious to see how we respond. The Tennessee was a quick turn, and I believe the Auburn was a quick turn. Well, we didn't have much time, and this we have a little more time, and I'd like to see how we respond. We don't have Alex. Dom is still probably 80%. Jamal didn't practice yesterday, bumped knees and did in the game, so he didn't practice. But it'll be this is a great test for us. They don't lose many games there, and they're playing well.
How does Derek kind of change your strategy? I mean, what kind of positions?
Well, he gives you another player on the floor that will stretch the defense. And he doesn't even have to make every shot. He's just got to be prepared to shoot them. The biggest thing, though, in this game is he's going to have to rebound. It's going to be, this is a, you got to be willing to get your nose in there and mix it up and put your body on somebody. If you don't put your body on somebody, I can promise you they will put their body on you. And you're at a huge disadvantage if that's what happens. And they're good at it. They're good at offensive rebounding. They wedge. They tip. They're going to go after every offensive rebound. It's the best thing they do. I think they get 12, 14 points a game on offensive rebounds. You think about that when you're scoring 65. You're not going to hold them to 0, but don't let them get 20 because then you got no chance of winning the game.
You expect to have Jamal for that game?
I would hope so, yeah. I think he'll practice today.
Dominique, you're talking about road versus home. Said at home, you guys really feed off the energy, and on the road, you have to find a way to get that energy from yourselves and that Marcus lead.
Well, you think about it. We've won a couple big games, and we've had a 12-point lead and a 21-point lead. And then, stuff gets hairy, and we're still learning how to win, how to put people away, how to stop the bleeding. You don't shoot a fadeaway. You don't shoot an up and under. You don't take the hardest play and turn it over to give them another basket. You make a play that either you make more than 50% of the time or you're going to get fouled. And then you have to lock down defensively if you're not making baskets because it becomes a game of they're going to make a run, now make another run back at them, push them back. They'll make another run, then push them back again. Normally the team will give up, especially when you have a 20-point lead. But we don't have that mentality. We're beginning to get that mentality. But 3 weeks ago, absolutely did not. We were just playing, like, next play, not realizing, and it's part of what we've had to do as coaches is to get them to understand that.
John, what do you think of Michael Carrera and how he's been pretty productive?
Wow, I'll tell you what he's doing better than ever. They're going to post him up. It's going to be a tough matchup. But he's also making shots. Where in the past you could play him in a certain way and that where you could meet him in areas, but now he's making shots. And he's still the get down in the stance. He's still an offensive rebounding machine. He's still the guts of their team, the toughness of their team. He's good.
As you're trying to bring along your big guys and you point to a 6'5" guy who's one of the best rebounders in the league, what do you tell them about how he's
Hopefully,
getting it done?
I just say, hopefully you're not standing next to him.
Scal has shown some shot blocking ability, and Isaac's let you guys in blocks the last 2 games. How important is, maybe their development as rim protectors to the way you guys defend?
The one thing that this has all done, and you feel bad for Alex, but it's given Isaac a chance to get in there and play and for us to evaluate this. Because if Alex comes back, then it may be between Scal and Alex, or Isaac, I'm sorry, who's, you probably can't play them both if Alex is healthy. But it gives them both a chance to fight and prove they understand how to win. We're doing drills right now where they've got to defend for a certain amount of time, and then there's 8 seconds to go. And I stop. I just say, okay, now this is how bad do you want to win? I mean, that's all this is. You scramble. Every one of you are thinking about, I am going to make the play. Well, what happens is a guy will just give up and they grab it. I said, you don't understand. Winning and losing has no bearing on you right now. You don't understand. You accept, it happened. And so we're trying to get them to fight to win. Everybody's trying to make a play. You're not trying, I hope someone makes a play. No, you're trying to make a play too. That's what we're doing. Like yesterday's practice was 2.5 hours. I don't go 2.5 hours in the middle of February. And it was all body to body. I mean, that's what this team needs. Now, if you remember 13-14, we were practicing almost 3 hours at the end of the year. We had no choice. I mean, that team just didn't get it. We also screwed up because they said we're going to call fouls, you can't be physical. We played with their hands up. And the teams that beat everybody up then we just started beating everybody up. We went back to it. So this is a little different, just trying to get these guys to fight and accept it and not get let go of the rope. But I'm having fun with it. I'm enjoying it. I feel refreshed. I'm knowing now it's the middle of February. You know what that means? The middle of February, it's on. This is it. This is why we all coach and play. Or if you don't, you're in the wrong profession. This is it. Let's get this right. It's going to be a really hard game for us to win down there. We know that. This is about our progress, and we're making progress. I told him I'm pleased, but I'm not satisfied.
John, how would you compare the coaching challenge last year and this year and the satisfaction you get as a coach, having overwhelming players, and then this year it's more of it seems like.
Well, when I watched tape of last year's team, I cannot believe I got all those guys to buy in. I can't remember what I did, but I got to go back and think about how in the world did I get all those guys to, like Carl Towns, you're playing 20 minutes a game. Trey Lyles. Devin, you're coming off the bench. What? So that was the amazing part of last year. Winning all the games and trying to win every single game was an exciting thing. But this is different. We have to embrace that these kids have way more to learn, and we're not a dominating team. Games are going to come down to the wire. We're trying to still understand how this team has to play, and we're still trying to figure it out both offensively and defensively. If you've watched, and most of you don't watch, but if you watch, we've changed offense every game, how we're playing, because I am trying to get something that I'm looking at and saying, okay, this is the best way. I don't know how you prepare for us now, because how we played 2 weeks ago is different than how we played a week ago, and last game is different.
Does that make it more fun, that you have to keep reshuffling?
It is. No, it wakes you up early in the morning, though, and it really gets you to go to bed early. Like, I'm trying to go to bed at 9. My wife's going nuts. You can't go to bed at 9 o'clock. I said, I'm going to fall asleep in this chair or that bed. So it tires you out, but it also wakes you up. And, we practiced yesterday, and I was going back and forth with Tyler. Here's some things I'm thinking about. Tell me what you think if we do this with you, and then we try this stuff. And that makes it, it's not a lesson plan, and I've had the same one for 9 years. I mean, this is every year I coach is a different team, and every year I coach is a different challenge. And this team, I'm proud of this team, what they've been able to do. You kidding me? And we had a chance to, and the staff. I'm happy with this staff because this staff is about one thing. How do we get individual players better? How do we get them scheming offensively and defensively so we're more productive as a team? And if you watched what we've been able to do offensively and defensively, we're moving like this. Now, there's some step backs, but they're not machines. These kids are not computers, and they have bad games. You got to accept every once in a while they throw a dud out there. It's not what I want, but it happens.
Two more. You also know on your radio show the other day that Ty might still play. Just how likely is that this year?
I don't know yet. He wanted to. We'll probably sit down and talk here on the way to South Carolina. I'm not sure he wants to redshirt. I think he does, but we haven't really talked about it. I was going to put him in the game, and I kind of looked at like, you don't want to go in, do you? Well, so. But he's doing fine in practice. I think he's looking at Isaac saying, right now I know I'm behind Isaac, and why do it? But there's so many things that can happen between now and the end of the year.
Any other questions?
After South Carolina, Frank Martin kind of complained about neither of those two teams being ranked, even though they were the top of the SEC. How do you feel like the national perception of the SEC is right now?
Well, if I remember right, A&M beat Iowa State, and Florida beat West Virginia, and we had a chance on the road at Kansas, and that was their better teams. I mean, didn't somebody play Oklahoma to a good game? LSU, I think, had a chance to beat them. But we, on the other side of this, we've lost some non-conference games that hurt our league. We do. And we do it every year. At some point, we're not, and then this league's going to go to 1, 2, or 3. But those non-conference losses, if you give them a chance to go back to those, even our own people that follow us will go back to that. Well, they lost to Samford, and Samford lost to Hawaii, and Hawaii lost to Asheville, so you should be with Asheville. I mean, they do that stuff, and so sometimes it's self-inflicted. But we got good coaches. We got good teams. We're beating each other up. It should not hurt our league. It should help our league. I think we got 5 to 6 teams that will be in the tournament. Now the question is, where do we get seeded? Like, where do those 5 get seeded? And it's not done. I mean, Texas A&M's going on a little wrong way run here. That could be us because of our schedule. Our schedule is top heavy at the end. We have how many games do we have left? How many?
17.
5 of them are like 4 in a row that could be losses, and a home game that could be a lot. We already lost to one of them. No, we lost to 2 of the teams that are coming to us now. So, I mean, you got to finish. You got to play. Got to get the best seeds. I think in the NCAA tournament, our teams have done well. It's all part of the process.
Thanks.